Stop scrolling. You didn't stumble onto this video by accident. Right now, something in your life is shifting. This isn't random chance. It's not the algorithm playing games. It's a signal. You've been chosen to receive this message because you're standing at the edge of a breakthrough. What I'm about to share with you isn't ordinary motivation. It's the final test before everything you've been waiting for collapses into reality. Less than 1% of people ever reach this stage. And if you're still here, it means you're already past the first gate. So the question is, will you recognize the signs or let them slip away? Here's what almost no one realizes. The delays, the rejections, the silent pauses where nothing seemed to move, they weren't punishments. They were preparations. Every closed door was a redirection. Every unanswered prayer was an incubation. The universe hasn't been ignoring you. It's been aligning you. Think about it. Quantum physicists call this moment the collapse point, the instant where infinite possibilities squeeze into one reality, and you are standing right there, the event horizon of your own becoming. But here's the danger. Most people panic at the threshold. They cling tighter. They check their phone for proof. They beg for signs. And in that desperate grip, they lose the very thing they've been waiting for. The truth is this: manifestation at the final stage isn't about control. It's about surrender. The seed doesn't demand to know when it will sprout. The stars don't ask for reassurance before they shine. Nature trusts the intelligence that created it. And now, that same intelligence is asking you to trust, to step into the unknown with open hands instead of clenched fists, because the hidden truth is simple. Everything you've been seeking has been seeking you with equal intensity. Every prayer, every vision, every ounce of faith you've carried in silence has brought you here, not to wait anymore, but to receive. So how do you know you're truly at the threshold? The universe always leaves clues, subtle but undeniable. Think back to the last few weeks. Have you noticed strange coincidences? A conversation that felt almost scripted, a number that keeps appearing, a song that seemed to answer a question you hadn't even spoken out loud? These are not accidents. They are quantum signals, breadcrumbs from your future self, guiding you toward the timeline you're meant to live. Science has a name for this. In quantum mechanics, particles can exist in multiple states at once until they're observed. Your desires work the same way. They've been hovering in the background of your reality, waiting for alignment. And when you start to see these synchronicities, it's the universe whispering, "You're close." Don't give up now. Most people miss these signs because they're looking in the wrong place. They search their bank account for proof. They look to other people for validation. They wait for some grand announcement, but the signs are already woven into the small details of your everyday life. That gut feeling you couldn't explain, that chance encounter that changed your perspective, that quiet knowing that something big is coming. And here's the secret. The more you notice them, the more they multiply. Attention amplifies energy. When you acknowledge these signs, you tune your frequency closer to the reality you're calling in. Take a moment right now. Breathe. Reflect on one synchronicity you've experienced recently. No matter how small. That wasn't luck. That was alignment. I want you to do something powerful. Type just one word in the comments below. A word that captures the sign you've been noticing, the energy you've been feeling. This isn't just for engagement. This is you making a declaration to the field. A signal back to the universe that you recognize what's happening. Because when you step into awareness, the field responds. The signs become stronger. The synchronicities accelerate. And before you know it, what once seemed like chance begins to feel like destiny unfolding right in front of you. The truth is, the universe has already been speaking to you. The question is, are you ready to listen? Here's where everything changes. The signs are real, the synchronicities are undeniable, but whether they collapse into your reality or slip away depends on one thing: your frequency. Most people live in wanting energy, And wanting energy is deceptive. It feels like desire, but underneath it is lack. It's the vibration of "I don't have it yet." And that vibration pushes everything further away. Receiving energy is different. Receiving energy doesn't chase, it attracts. It doesn't beg, it allows. It doesn't ask, "When will it come?" It knows it's already here in the unseen, simply waiting to unfold in perfect timing. Think of nature's rhythm. A seed never doubts if it will become a tree. It doesn't demand progress reports. It trusts the intelligence that created it. The same intelligence that spins galaxies, moves oceans, and orchestrates the breath moving through your body at this very moment. This is the shift. To move from asking to allowing, from wanting to receiving. And when you embody receiving energy, your entire signal changes. Instead of broadcasting need, you broadcast readiness. And readiness is the exact frequency that collapses possibility into reality. Take this moment now. Pause and breathe deeply. Imagine yourself not as someone chasing a dream, but as someone who naturally receives. See yourself moving through life with quiet confidence, knowing the universe supports you, knowing that what belongs to you cannot be taken. This shift may feel subtle, but it is everything. Because wanting says, "It's not here yet." Receiving says, "It's already mine." And when you hold that energy, when you relax your grip and step into surrender, the field reorganizes itself around you. People appear, resources gather, opportunities that once seemed impossible simply fall into place. So here's your practice. Stop waiting for proof. Start living as if it's already unfolding. Walk with the posture of someone who trusts. Breathe like someone who has already arrived. Speak with the tone of someone who knows the breakthrough is inevitable. Because the secret frequency shift isn't about trying harder. It's about becoming the version of you who no longer tries at all. The one who simply receives. But now comes the part almost everyone underestimates. The final gate. The last guardian before the breakthrough. Resistance. And here's the twist. Resistance doesn't mean you're failing. It means you're close. Very close. Because just before your reality collapses into the life you've been asking for, the old patterns make one last desperate attempt to keep you where you've been. Think about it. The hero's journey always has this moment. The darkest night before the dawn, the monster at the gate before the treasure is revealed. Resistance is not a punishment. It's the test that asks, are you truly ready to hold what you've been asking for? This resistance can take many forms. Doubt whispering in your mind, maybe it won't happen. Fear showing up as sudden chaos in your life. Distractions that steal your energy. People who trigger old wounds. Circumstances that tempt you back into limitation. But hear me clearly. This isn't the universe blocking you. This is your old identity fighting for survival. The version of you built on scarcity, struggle, and fear doesn't simply vanish. It resists, it clings, and in doing so, it gives you the chance to choose again. Every challenge you've walked through up to now, every disappointment, every closed door, every lonely night when you chose faith over despair, has been spiritual weightlifting. You've been building muscle for this exact moment. And now, resistance is the final set. So what do you do when it shows up? You don't fight it. You don't feed it. You don't collapse into it. You witness it. Like clouds passing through the sky. Temporary, fleeting, powerless if you don't give it energy. This is why surrender matters so much. Because surrender doesn't mean giving up. It means refusing to wrestle with illusions. It means standing tall in the knowing that the storm is not the end. It's the clearing before the dawn. Take this in. The presence of resistance is proof that you're at the edge of your expansion. It means the new timeline is so close it's pressing against the fabric of your old one. And if you stay steady, if you breathe, surrender, and keep your frequency tuned, that old reality will collapse and the new one will take its place. So when resistance comes, smile. It's not your enemy. It's your initiation. The final threshold you must step through before everything you've been waiting for finally arrives. So what happens when you pass the test? When you stop fighting resistance and step through the gate? That's when the leap occurs. Not a small step, not gradual progress, a quantum leap. In physics, there's a phenomenon called quantum tunneling, where particles pass through barriers that should be impossible to cross. On paper, the wall is solid, no way through. But at the quantum level, the impossible becomes inevitable. The particle simply appears on the other side. Your consciousness works the same way. One moment you're staring at the same obstacles, the same patterns, the same limits you've carried for years, and then, in what feels like an instant, you find yourself free of them. The wall dissolves. The limitation no longer exists. People will call it luck. They'll say you had a sudden breakthrough, but you'll know the truth. It wasn't luck. It was a leap. Here's the mystery most people never realized. The version of you already living your dream life, abundant, free, radiant, it already exists in the quantum field. Right now. It's not something you need to become. It's someone you need to remember. Think about it. Have you ever felt a strange pull towards something you couldn't explain? An intuition that made no logical sense, but later turned out to be exactly right? That wasn't random. That was your future self, reaching back through the field, guiding you toward the timeline where you're already living the life you've been asking for. Every synchronicity, every sudden insight, every gut feeling that refused to be ignored, these are navigation signals. Proof that your expanded self has been walking ahead of you, lighting the path and pulling you forward. And right now, something extraordinary is happening. Your current frequency and your desired frequency are beginning to sync. Physicists call this phase locking, when two oscillating systems start vibrating together. Imagine water suddenly freezing into ice, or a caterpillar suddenly transforming into a butterfly. That's the leap. It feels sudden, but it's been building quietly, secretly all along. Every meditation you've done, every time you chose love over fear, every time you trusted when you had no evidence, you were charging the field with coherence, and now you're reaching the threshold where the shift becomes inevitable. This is why breakthroughs feel so instant. One day it seems impossible, the next it's done. Because at the quantum level, reality doesn't just bend, it reorganizes. And when that leap occurs, when your old self dissolves and your expanded self takes over, you'll look back and wonder why you ever doubted. You'll see clearly that the wall was never real. The limits were never permanent. The leap was always waiting, and now it's your turn to take it. Now that you understand the leap, the question becomes, how do you stabilize it? How do you make sure you don't fall back into the old frequency? The answer is embodiment. Because manifestation isn't just about thoughts. It isn't only about vision boards or silent prayers whispered into the night. Your body must join the frequency. Your breath, your posture, your movement, all of it must align with the version of you who already has what you desire. Think of it this way. If you were already living your dream life, how would you carry yourself? How would you walk into a room? How would you breathe when you woke up in the morning? How would you speak to others? That energy isn't something you wait for. It's something you practice now. So here's a simple but powerful shift. Stop visualizing yourself trying to manifest. Instead, visualize yourself as the person who naturally receives. See yourself moving through life with quiet confidence. Breathe slower. Relax your shoulders. Smile as if the universe has already delivered, because it has, in the unseen, even the smallest actions. The way you sit, the way you speak, the way you hold yourself in silence, broadcast a signal, and when that signal matches the frequency of your desires, the universe has no choice but to align with it. So today, instead of asking, when will it come? Ask yourself, How can I embody it right now? Because embodiment isn't pretending, it's remembering. It's stepping into the identity of the one who already crossed the threshold, until that version of you becomes the only reality left. So here we are. You've seen the signs, you've felt the resistance, you've understood the leap, and now you've been given the practice to embody it. But there's one last truth you must carry with you. What you've been seeking has been seeking you. Always. Every prayer, every vision, every single moment you chose faith over fear has brought you here. Right here. To this moment of remembrance. Because you are not waiting to become, you are remembering who you already are. The gap between where you are and where you want to be was never distance. It was frequency. And frequency can shift in a breath, in a choice, in an instant. That's the power you hold right now, not someday, not after proof arrives, now. So take a breath and feel it. You are not chasing anymore, you are receiving. You are not trying to manifest, you are living the frequency that makes manifestation inevitable. And as you step into this energy, the universe cannot help but respond. Doors will open, opportunities will align, people will appear, because you've tuned yourself to the station where miracles are not the exception. They are the rhythm of life itself. Now, here's your declaration. In the comments below, type this simple phrase, I am ready to receive. Don't just write it, feel it. Let it echo as a signal into the quantum field, a commitment to your future self. A frequency the universe cannot ignore. And if this transmission has stirred something deep inside you, if you know in your bones that this message was meant for you, then I invite you to take one more step. Like this video, share it with someone who's ready for their breakthrough. And most importantly, subscribe to this channel, Inner Alchemy, not just to stay connected, but as a declaration that you choose to live tuned to this frequency. A frequency where synchronicities become normal, where resistance becomes initiation, and where the leap into your highest self is no longer a question, but a certainty. Because this is not the end. This is the beginning of the life you were always meant to live. So trust the timing, embrace the signs, embody the frequency, and remember the universe is not making you wait. It is preparing to deliver. Your breakthrough is closer than your next breath. Welcome to Inner Alchemy. Welcome home.